All right, so am I live now? Don't know about the microphone. Seems on. Let me leave it over here. I don't know. Can you guys hear me all right? I can't really have a test to hear myself, but wait for a little bit for people to come in. All right. Let me wait a little bit until people actually start coming in. Yeah, how was your weekend for anybody here? Spent time watching the Marvels, the last review of what's it called? Of Loki, the season finale. Went to a concert in New York. It's been a tiring weekend, honestly. Done a lot. For anybody who haven't, I do have those videos out. The Loki season review, non-spoiler. Um, the Marvels review, non-spoiler. I have it out as well. What else? And the concert, the review of the concert I have as well. So check those out. Still nobody here. Let me see. But yes, any comments, questions, anything about the movie, any of both movies, Five Nights at Freddy's or the Marvels, just write it down below and I'll read out your comment if it's appropriate. Let me see. Let me see if I could share the. If I could share the thing or not. Guys, does it show that I'm live? Okay, it does show that I'm live. Okay, that's good. Alright, how's the audio? About to share this. How's the audio in the or the mic? Good? Okay. That's good. Well, the backroom I forgot you changed your name. Backroom experience. Better than the last live? Yeah? Okay. Let me post the content on my thing so we could get some more people going on the conversation about it before I start going on my thoughts. Because I got a lot to say on the Marvels and yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's as well. And hopefully you guys learn something just about the movie itself. Even if you haven't seen it, don't worry. I'm gonna review most of the movie out and then you'll get a gist of what is it about. Do me a favor. I just shared the live content right now on my page, so just hit a share or whatever so we get some more people here. Where else haven't I shared it at? Promotion is just a more annoying part of this process. But yeah, I might start with Five Nights at Freddy's, if anything, because that's the movie that I saw later on. The Marvels is still fresh on my mind, so I'll probably have a harder time reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's. So it's been like what, a week or two already. Probably 2 weeks, I think. I don't even remember. How was your weekend? Pretty much. Like I said, I already had the freaking concert, the movie, and the show. And then, as you can see, right now I'm on my new laptop. So, if you guys haven't checked out the video, I have a laptop review video, and then the non-spoiler reviews of the concert and the show and the movie are already out. So check that out. Don't forget, please share the content, share the channel. Did I do it over here? I don't even know if I did it over here. That's a good thing because I have the laptop and now I have my phone that I could just do the promotion and secondary stuff in there. But yes, wow, it's been already 6 minutes. YouTube. Okay. Gonna give it probably like 1 or 2 more minutes now. Please join. And TikTok is fine. Okay. All right. Why do you want to get to 8 minutes? Why does that minute skip every single 14 seconds, which is weird? Or 5 seconds. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out YouTube Live, so don't mind me. That's just weird. How's the lighting? Lighting good? Webcam good? There, just let me know in the comments if the webcam is good, lighting is good. All right, it's about to be 8 minutes, so I'm just gonna get started. All right, so let's get started with Five Nights at Freddy's. Um, Five Nights at Freddy's. So the more I thought about it, and I watched it like 2 or 3 times more, I really did like it, basically. So Five Nights at Freddy's is about, if you think about Chuck and Cheese, it's like those robots, the animatronics, whatever they want to call it, they gone wrong. It's like killing murderous people and stuff like that. So it used to be a game. Well, it is a game basically that you could probably like what 2014, 2015, that you're a security guard, and in the game from the security guard you got a new job in Chuck and Cheese place, which is called Five Nights at Freddy's. Only catch is that there's some animatronics basically that just be haywire and running wild. At times they can't spell the distinction between a human and non-human. So basically you're in the job overnight from like, I don't know, midnight, I think. What was it, 10 o'clock or midnight? And you have to stay till like 6 a.m. and you gotta survive the nights, basically. So basically the building itself has bad electricity, bad you only got a limited amount of power or electricity for that matter, that you'll be able to use to either check your webcams, check your video monitors, the door, the lighting in your room, and stuff like that. So you got to make every single thing count from 100. Like it's good. I should thank you, brother. With some people from Kylene killing. What's Kylene? Explain to me that. Anyways, thanks, bro. Um, what's it called? So you basically got a limited resources, and from those limited resources, you gotta basically survive the night. So the hours keeps going by, and after like saying like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., those animatronics robots. It's a town name. The town name. Oh, that's your town name. I'll get back to you on that. um, what's it called? They move around basically, so you gotta keep clicking on your webcam to see where exactly are they. The goal is to A, survive the night, and B, if they get too close to your door, you gotta lock the door. But the catch is every single time you click on your webcam, you're wasting 1% of your battery. You're up to only 100. So it might go drop 1 or 2% or 3% or whatever. And then to lock your door is another percentage that they use. And then to light up your hallway, it's another percentage that you have to use. So not mine, but if sorry, I don't mind. Got you. Okay. No wonder I was lost. Anyways, so pretty much you got to survive 5 nights of it, and each night it gets less and less predictable, less and less percentage you have of electricity and stuff like that. So that's the gist of at least the first game that I played. Then I watched some videos, there's some lore of it, and the animatronics is actually ghosts of children that were killed by the owner of the place, pretty much. Since I didn't get to play part two, three, four, however long that it go to, basically. So my actual knowledge from myself goes up to there, the first game. Now the second game, what I heard is that it goes into like ghost kids. Basically, they control the robots and animatronics and stuff like that. So that the lore I'm not gonna get into because I'm not exactly 100% sure of it. Basically, just a few videos that I've seen. So as for the movie itself, now that you got the gist of the game, it's giving a little more backstory and a little additional characters and stuff like that. Like you still got the security guard. Basically, it gets a little bit more for his backstory and why he needs the job in the first place, which is of his sister. I guess his parents died. I don't remember from what or why or anything like that. And it's just him and his sister living together with obviously a babysitter when he has to go take the job. Now there's this aunt that wants to take custody of his sister, but the aunt just wants the money, pretty much. So, hold on. Give me a second. But yeah, but now everybody's sending me freaking messages. What? YouTube. Okay. So, where was I? So his parents died, and he's trying to find a job in order to keep his sister and keep his place and everything, but he can't really do night times. Now his backstory is that his little brother, when he was younger as a kid, got kidnapped and I guess killed um in basically a memory sequence that I guess when he was younger, yeah, they were camping or something or having a picnic, and he threw a frisbee or a ball away, his little brother went to go get it, and he like looked away for a second, and then somebody came in the car, just took him basically, and he's been trying to like relive the memory or trying to find some clues from what's it called, trying to find some clues to figure out like who took him, who killed him, and stuff like that. So he's still traumatized from that. So every single night he like placed like a little poster from where he was at. I guess it was somewhere in Nebraska, and like some sounds. I don't know if that actually works though too. Like you like put some sounds and look at a place and just fall asleep and then you're like in the place. Never tried it, but guess that's a thing. But he does that every single night, basically to just be in that moment, be in that memory, to figure out exactly where he went wrong and whatever the case may be. So he doesn't really like taking night jobs like that. But since his aunt was trying to take his sister away, he was like, "Fuck it, I'll take the job." You know, I want to keep my sister. Be safe and all this other stuff. So, oh, second viewer. So whoever's here, just write in the comments. Right now I'm speaking on Five Nights at Freddy's, and then I'm gonna go into the Marvels and then talk from there. And I guess one person left. So, anyways, so he went to go do an interview, basically, and the guy's boss was actually. Have y'all seen? Do y'all remember Shaggy from Scooby Doo? The live action Scooby Doo. Yeah, but what's it called? He that was the first time I've seen him in years. He was the guy interviewing the guy interviewing for the position. Not the guy interviewing, the guy doing the interview for the security guard position. So I was like, oh shit, I haven't seen him in years. So he was there. Um then he was like, yeah, nobody really worked or gotten that job yet, because obviously I guess other security guards die. They don't really explain or anything like that to him. So he's like, you know what, I just need the job, so I'll take it. So from then, is that LA? Is that LA or animated? What do you mean? Like the robots itself, or live action or animated? No, well, the movie was live action. Everything was live action, even the animatronics. So, um, where was I? So he gets to the place pretty much that first night, and he just starts looking at the place, wandering around. He sees the animatronics like behind the curtains and stuff like that. Nothing really, whatever. So he goes to the security room, and that first night, nothing really happens. Honestly, what normally from that first night, he did fall asleep, and he did have that dream sequence of his little brother. But the only difference is that they just added like some ghost kids in his dreams, which I guess was gonna be going into like the rest of the movie going forward. So ghost kids make an appearance in his dream, and then he wakes up and it's already 6 a.m. So they do a little like going back and forth with like him talking to his babysitter, well, his little sister's babysitter, obviously. And they seem to have a good chemistry and good thing. But then she goes to go eat somebody. Hey Yoli, about time. How you doing? So she goes into a diner with, I guess, with her brother, and then they find her with her aunt, the aunt that wants to take her sister away. Good, and you too? Bien, bien, aquí. If you're lost a little bit, I'm reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's first, then the Marvels. Then we're just gonna have a little chat and whatever. A lo mejor hablo de concierto. Y bien, bien. Glad you're actually here. If you have any questions or anything like that, just go away and I'll read it out, alright? Um, so they were basically over here trying to pre-plan a way to screw the security guard over. Basically, so they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna go trash the place," which is Five Nights at Freddy's, and whatever the case may be. So they were like, "Oh, after a certain day that he goes home, then I'm just gonna go trash the place." So night two comes, and not much happens except a security guard comes in, and she's like, "Oh, I used to be in this place a lot." And I used to love this place, and but there's something fishy about her. Like you don't really know why she actually there. Like I feel like she has an intended purpose, or whatever the case may be, which we'll find out later on in the movie. But it was more they had like a little small talk, and she was like, "Oh, have you met them yet?" And she was like, "Who the hell are you talking about?" And then she was like, "Oh, the robots Freddy, and I forgot the other four names." Why you mad? I guess that's a mad face. So why you mad? Write down why you mad. Shit. But then what's it called? So they wasn't. They were more in their like little robotic states, like like you turn on the thing and this is the motions that they do. So they weren't really like live. The ghost kids wasn't in them. They were just moving based off electricity by that time. So it's not a mad face. It's more like this is interesting. Ha. Shit, that looks a little like an angry ass robot, or I don't know what the fuck. So I was like, yeah. See, you might not even have to watch movies if you want to come here and just, I'll tell the movie for you. Shit. Um. So yeah, morning comes. See, I think he had another dream sequence before that, and he actually talked to one of the kids that stopped for him, but he just ended up getting cut. When you send an emoji, it gets a description of it, not like actual picture. So it might say something like angry face. I don't know if he knows that. No, I don't know that. Like I barely be freaking commenting on YouTube or shit like that. Like I know the hand face. I see the pink hand. You were sending that the other day. That's why I was like pink hand, and I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, so he leaves, and the brother of the babysitter was over there calling his babysitter. I'm like, all right, it's time. Yeah, I can see it now. I know I was ranting about that the other live video. Yeah, I can see it now. But yeah, so he leaves, and the brother of the babysitter was over there, be like calling his babysitter. All right, it's time. Gather everybody around. We're gonna go trash the place. So he goes in. He's like, "Oh, I found a way in." So in the daytime, they go in and they go in and be like, "All right, trash every single thing out, do maximum damage and whatever. Take what we can. If you find out anything valuable, just take it and whatever the case may be." And then what is that? A fucking that looks like a fucking lizard. Anyways, what's it called? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so they want to take what you can and all that stuff, and it's waving. How you put a pink hand as waving, and then there's also like a y'all making me feel old. Shit. Anyways, anyways, guys going. They start trashing the place and whatever, and then they put us like a little close up to the animatronic opening their eyes, and then when you go back to them, like they not there type shit. So there's this little shit. I don't even know if I can even put a picture because I'm worried about a freaking copyright shit. Let me see. Let me see if I could find a freaking picture of the guy I'm talking about. Don't worry, this is a little bit ratchet as fuck, but still. If y'all could see, let me know. It shouldn't be a freaking copyright shit, cause fucking what's it called? Five Nights at Freddy's image. All right. Can y'all see that? Yes, no. Just tell me real quick. Yes, no. I don't know if this is a delay, but this nigga right here got the first kill. So he was yes, okay. So this nigga over here got first kill. He was like in a little freaking locker shit or whatever the hell. And there's this like skinny dude over here be like, oh, he heard the sound or whatever the case may be, kind of like every single other goddamn horror movie. And he'd like, oh, well, like a dumbass, be like, all right, let me go check this shit out because there should be like technically nobody here. So they come and opens the door, and that little nigga was right there. Then he's like, what the fuck is this shit? Then this nigga, the duck, oh, there it is. The duck shit was right behind him and was like, oh, like he was just standing there with red ass eyes and whatever, just right behind him, and be like, I'm like, oh, is this a fucking joke or whatever the fuck? I was like, who the fuck is in there? He looked back, and the small nigga I showed you from the first one over here eating his goddamn face. So I'm like, what the? I'm like, so he literally like devoured his face. Like basically, his mouth is like all robotic shit, and it's like, think about it like your food dispenser shit. You know the shit like when you turn it on, it just goes whatever the fuck. So he like literally devouring his face all the way through. Then there's a fat guy who was part of the group as well. He came in and saw the small guy over here devouring his face, and then the duck just looking on like some damn stalker shit or whatever. And then he looked at him and like, then he just started freaking screaming. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Just start fucking screaming and shit. And then he was like, oh, like, so he went into like a closet, not a closet. What the fuck do you call those? Janitor's closet and whatever. And he comes, then the door locks on him. Then the babysitter's brother was like, oh, like he was gonna go smash the, what's it called, the security room where the webcams is at. And he looked at the photo and I'm like, oh, why? Where is everybody? Like, and all this other shit. So then he saw him screaming, and he went to the gym room basically, but the room got locked up. And then he started like talking in the microphone, like, yo, what's going on? Blah blah blah. Like, why are you running? What are you running from? And whatever. And then next thing you know, like behind him is what's it called? The bunny nigga, basically. Him. He was like, you couldn't really see the scene. All you see is like blood splattered all over the door and whatever the case may be. By this time, the babysitter's brother was like over there, like going towards the hallway from whatever. Then you see him like just falling on the floor, dead as hell, and whatever the fuck. And then you come, what's it called? This nigga just starts freaking walking and shit. So I was like, he just starts walking, and he starts running into a goddamn room. another fucking room in the freaking thing. Like, I don't know if it was like catering room or the kitchen or whatever the hell. And does it show the fox nigga? Yeah. This fox guy comes over here sprinting, cut him open, basically, for then to freaking teddy bear to go on Freddy itself to go do the final kill thing. So I was like, oh, so this is this type of movie type shit. And no, it's not really. There's some CGI in it, but it's not really much CGI. Like they kind of like go around. Like you could tell, like some of them is actually like slow moving robotics. Like it's actually robotics. But then when they do some CGI, it kind of does the CGI, like especially the killing parts. But when them moving, it's actually them moving. Um. Meanwhile, the sister, the babysitter, is outside waiting for them to come in. So she's like, "Why do I hear screaming? Why do I hear whatever the fuck?" Basically, same dumbass white girls that be going through the shit. So she goes in. Then she sees one of the ghost kids. And she was like, not so low budget. Like it's low budget, but it's not so that much so low budget in a way. So they don't really need that much CGI except for just the kills in a way. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. So, the sister comes and she's like, "Oh, a ghost kid. Um, let me go follow the damn ghost kid that obviously is not fucking there." So she goes into one of the back rooms where they have the old robots and all this freaking shit, right? And you see a freaking shit of the old fucking teddy bear, and then you hear voices, and instead of running the fuck out, she's like, "Let me see if somebody's fucking there." And I was like, this bitch. So she starts slowly walking in and whatever. And then this freaking ghost kids are like over here saying warmer, warmer and shit. And I'm like, and I'm in my hair like, dumbass, dumbass. And then she comes, steps into the mouth of the thing where she starts hearing the thing, the voice, and she puts her hand in and she gets dragged in, cut in half, and that's her end of her story, pretty much. Now, by this time, we're going into night 3, but it's still daytime middle, so it's like day 3 or whatever the hell. And the police car saying, "Oh, somebody broke into Freddy's. Why did you leave something unlocked and whatever? They could fire you for that." So like, I don't get it, and you gotta stop falling asleep and all this other shit. And then he explained his backstory about his kid and whatever the case would be, so she could give him a break, and what's going on with his sister and whatever. So now it goes into, so she lets him by, let it slide and shit like that. But she does realize that she knows something about Freddy's that she's obviously not telling him. So we go in, and basically he's calling the babysitter. Obviously, the babysitter's dead as fuck, so can't do shit with that. So he's gonna have no choice but to bring the sister to his job and whatever the hell. So night 3 comes and basically he sets up like a little tent for her on his office while he's doing the security thing and whatever, and that happens. So they have a little talk and shit, and then his dumbass happens to fall asleep again on another dream sequence. Meanwhile, she wakes up from one of the ghost kids and she starts going into the freaking animatronic robots things. So in the dream, she's like, "Oh, can you guys help me to go find my brother's killer and stuff like that?" And then they were like, "Oh, it depends what you're gonna give us." and then they went away, and he woke up, and then she's not there, and then she hear her screaming, but she was like screaming like they were playing with her. No, not like that. They were just like freaking playing, like, I don't know, hide and seek or tickling her or whatever the hell. So she make friends with the robots and whatever. Okay, they seem to like her, not him, and whatever. And then that's where he started figuring it out, like, like what the hell is going on type shit. And he just, after that, it was like almost 6 o'clock, so he just bounced. So he called the police. I think he called the police officer, or night 4 came, and they were like, I guess he was coming. He was coming to the, what was it? No, police. No, I was wrong. Police guy, the police girl wasn't. She didn't come until night 4. So she was like, "Oh, are you okay?" Type shit. Blah blah blah. I'm going to, I don't know what happened to the babysitter, and stuff like that. But did they tell you anything? Like, what was that? Trying to get some information off, and like, oh, they're cool, they're nice and stuff like that. She's like, oh, they're gonna be some ground rules if whatever place. Like, he's like saying, I think he figured out that they're the ghost kids, basically. So he was like, can you do me a favor? Can you ask them if they could help me try to figure out who my brother's killer is? So yeah, that night came, the police girl was already there, and he was like, oh, you knew, type shit. And they started having like a little montage of them having like, fun or whatever the hell, like building a tent or whatever the hell with all of them combined. But then he started like asking, like, well, she started asking, why did you bring your sister here? Type shit, like she knew like shit could go wrong and whatever the fuck else. And like she she comes, and I guess around that time, basically, while they were having that conversation about, like, trying to get information off each other and whatever the hell, her sister gets electrocuted by accident because he touched one of the robotics for guitar. So she was like, go home, go take care of your sister, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And she was like, oh, if you bring her again, I'm going to shoot you, type shit. So then after that, he had another nightmare sequence. And then they were like, oh, I want Abby. And at first he says, which is the sister. And at first he says, oh. At first he says yes. And then he's like, oh, I made a mistake, blah, blah, blah. So he went back in there, be like, I don't want this anymore, whatever the case may be. And he comes. So they come and they attack them on the dream sequence. They attack him. But in real life, they were like stabbing him and shit and whatever the hell. The next time he woke up, he was like strapped in, kind of like a little saw shit, whatever, with like, they were going to put the face of the animatronic that's like, it's obviously all robotic and it's all like a freaking dispenser shit, to cut up his face and kill him pretty much. But he managed to escape that much, and then he just blacked out. In that meantime, basically, the police girl just happened. He woke up and he found the police girl next to him and was like, oh, he was like, oh, you should have never came back or tried to do that or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, oh, I made a mistake. Like, they want my sister. They want to like make them part of them or blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, oh, yeah, my father. That's she started doing the backstory of her father, which was the one who owned the place, that he was a bad man and he killed those kids. And they find a whole backstory about basically her father killing the kids. So then after that, by that time, Abby was by herself in the house. I forgot to mention this part. He brought his aunt to fucking babysit while he was in night 4. So while this was happening, Freddy, don't know how the fuck, went all the way to his house, kidnapped Abby, killed the aunt, to go bring her back to the freaking place. And to get back to, they brought a fucking taxi to bring to the fuck to go to the freaking back to Five Nights at Freddy's. Meanwhile, this movie was kind of like 90s feel. So at this, I think it took place probably in the 90s or 80s or whatever. Not sure, but yeah, taxi guy. Actually, the scene was kind of funny. Like first you see her like freaking going into the cab and whatever, then you see the actual teddy bear, the cab driver. Like, what the fuck? Like he's like, I knew I should stop taking these night ass shifts and whatever the fuck. So the fifth night, basically, he was trying to get into Five Nights at Freddy's, like going the back way, trying to save his sister, end up being killed. I mean, end up trying to figure out a way to get past them. The police officer was scared to go because her father might be there, and whatever the case may be. Then she was like, "Oh, if you tase them with the electric taser, like this just stop them momentarily, and whatever the case may be." They were trying to kill Abby, make them one of them, and he managed to stop them with the taser and whatever. But then there was one teddy bear, not teddy bear, one bear animatronics that was just there, which was different from the rest. And he tased her, tased the person, but it didn't work because it was an actual person, and it was her father who was alive, who was actually goddamn Shaggy from Scooby Doo. The guy who did the interview was a mastermind of all this shit. All because I don't know, he just wanted to kill kids or security guards. Or I don't know what the fuck his claim was or whatever the hell. But what's it called? At the end of the day, he ended up stabbing his daughter. Then the security guard was like, his sister was there. He like the only way to like help her stop him is basically to show the ghost kids what actually happened, because pictures was a theme. I forgot to say, was a theme of like communication in a way with between the sisters and the ghost kids and all that sort of stuff. Because in the pictures there was like this bunny or whatever that was supposedly good, but it was like false advertisement for them in a way. So she drew a picture of the bunny like killing them all, like the ghost kids that were already there. And then they figured out the truth that, oh, the owner was the one who killed those kids. So they ended up killing him. And then the whole building went to parts and whatever the hell. And then whole little side story, like he ends up getting a job and his sister ended up staying with him. And she was like, oh, they're so lonely. Can I go back to, when are we going to go back to see them? He's like, oh, yeah, I don't know about that. But that's the end of that. And then there was a post-credit scene or mid-credit scene that the owner is still alive, but he's like barely clinging. Like one of the ghost kids just like seeing, like watching him and shit like that. Died, but the building is still there, so there might be a part two. But yeah, that's Five Nights at Freddy's. Any questions? My voice fucking hurts already. No, only one person's here. Any questions about what the fuck I just said? Would I watch part two? Yeah. Yeah, I would watch part two because like at the end of the day, throughout the whole thing, it was intriguing. It was interesting. It kept me entertained, so and I'm like, where can they possibly go next? Like that's what I'm wondering. Like, oh yeah, by the way, his daughter, the police car lives too, but she was like in a coma or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I would watch part two if it ever came out or sequel or whatever. Cause the robotics are interesting. There's some parts that I found were funny. And then some shit is just stupid funny for me too. So yeah, I will watch part two. Any more questions before I go? I'm gonna share this page one more time. So ask your questions here while I do the sharing part. and I'll answer whatever it is you answer about the movie. I'm guessing Yolamar left. Two. Let me see. Yeah. Facebook. Just after this, I'm gonna talk about the Marvels. Should start bringing drinking to this because it's just exhausting. For anybody, oh yeah, you said you already shared the page. Share. I wonder if these chats will actually show on YouTube or it's just the live itself. Okay, and still live. Okay. Okay, any more questions before I go on to the next one? Yes, you can see them later. Okay. Okay. All right, that's enough answering from everybody. All right. Let me wait until 50 so I could start the Miss Marvel thing. Let me see. I gotta catch the bus at what? 8 o'clock? 8:18. Yeah, that gives me enough time. Okay, so at least 2 people came and joined and messaged, which is good. Um, there was a while that I saw 3 and it just left. So question: better talking live or pre-recorded? I'm gonna do a bit of both because these open spoilers I'm gonna be doing live. The non-spoiler ones out of theater stuff I'm gonna be doing pre-recorded. So probably anything spoilers I'm gonna be doing live. I don't know. Write down in the comments what you guys think. Because I find it more convenient just saying it. Pre-recorded is better. See? Probably gonna go a little bit into more because the only issue with pre-recorded is eventually, like when people come, like I want to be able to respond on the spot. Is why I like the live part better. But since not that many, I gotta see if not that many people coming in, then I'll do it all pre-recorded. Because I don't, not that many people right now are just coming in. So, all right. So, no, nothing. Let me write to this one, see if. Okay, so let's go into the Marvels for open spoiler. Since that's pretty much fresh on my mind. What did I rate this? I rated this a 6, I think. 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's probably like mid tier Marvel. It's not the best, but not the worst. I like I liked it better than the first one. Not love it, like it, but definitely it's definitely an improvement from the first one overall. For this movie, in order to get the complete appreciation for the movie, you would have to watch WandaVision, which is a pretty good show. You would have had to watch the first Captain Marvel, possibly Endgame, and whatever Infinity War, and no, not even Infinity War, Endgame. Um, Miss Marvel, which I didn't mind that show, but it wasn't like extreme, and Secret Invasion. You would have had to watch, which that show was mediocre at best, but it's kind of all combining into one movie. Like I feel like it's like a spin-off of WandaVision, a sequel to Miss Marvel, a sequel to Captain Marvel, and they tried to put it all into one with a very short amount of time. What is your scale of 0 to 10? Once we know how you're comparing when you say 6. So 0 is worst shit ever. Like, don't even bother watching. And 10 is perfection. Like, this is movie of the year type shit. So when I put 10 is like movie of the year type shit. 9 is I love this movie. 8 is like this movie is a very, very good movie. 7 is just is a good movie. 6 is okay. It's an okay movie. 5 is like the middle ground. Is like, I feel indifferent. Then you go 4, 3, 2, 1. It's just like just getting lower and lower, basically. I get yeah. Yes, but if you had to say what movie for you would be a move that is a 10 and a 0. So for me, a movie like a 10, I find Logan, the last Wolverine movie. For that movie, for me, was a 10. And for 0, I don't know. Some people might hate me for this or whatever the fuck, because I feel like it has some fans. But that Terrifier 2 movie, that shit was a 0 to me. Like, I'm on the point that I was like looking at my time from like 20 minutes over. I'm like, is this shit over with yet? I felt like when a movie feels like it's a fucking chore that I'm dragging on, but I don't want to waste my money and leave, but I'm so tempted to leave, that is a fucking 0. And that's how I felt about Terrifier 2. I was like, I didn't even watch the first Terrifier. And that shit, I don't even know how long that movie was, but that movie felt like a fucking 5-hour movie to me. Or more. I don't know. Like, that shit was horrible. Don't worry, you don't need to hear of it. Logan, you need to hear of. Terrifier 2, don't even speak it into existence. But it's a lot of things. Let me first talk about the movie itself, and then I'll talk about in general, like what do I feel compared to of the other MCU films, pretty much. So, as I said in my non-spoiler, this movie became a 6 to me because of Miss Marvel, and that is a good thing. Because if she was not there or gave the performance that she actually gave, this movie probably would have been a 4 to me. Like, she just made the scenes better. She made the thing more enjoyable. Like, yes, the movie's more like a kids movie in a way. Not a kids movie, but yeah, it's a bit PG 13 movie or whatever the case may be. Like, it had a lot of kidness in it in a way, but she made like her personality kind of carried it for me. Like, she seemed like she want to put in the work and whatever the case may be. Like, she made the movie better. Like, I didn't like even though I didn't mind the show, like it wasn't all that, but it wasn't bad. But she carried that show in a way. What her character is. So the other two were fine. They were like bland, but they were fine. But she just like outperformed everybody in a way. So in the trailer concept, basically it was like their issue was that their powers getting entwined because they used the power of light. Like, Miss Marvel used light as just generally as power. Like, I don't know, shoots beams and shit like that off light or whatever the hell. Then the other one, Monica Rambeau, which I forgot her name, superhero name, whatever. She uses light to like make herself like not invisible, but like transparent in a way. Like, she could go in through matters and stuff like that. And then Miss Marvel can use light to make solid shapes or figures, or I don't even know how to explain it basically. But she, like I said, she stole the show, but that's their issue. That was their plot from the trailer, that their powers kept getting entwined. Then there's a villain that looks like a villain from another movie, the Ronan the Accuser, but this is like a sheep off version of Roman the Accuser, female, and basically their life are in danger, blah blah blah, because she's coming for them or something, and they're trying to figure out like how to work as a team and how to like use some powers, because what happens is every single time that they use their power, they get transported to wherever the other person is, basically. So if Miss Marvel use her power and Captain Marvel use her power, they get swapped. So what's it called? Oh, nobody's here now. Oh well. So they get swapped. So what's it called? The movie starts basically like, I think Captain Marvel over here fighting some people or whatever the case may be. Then they show all three of them. Then they start swapping. What do you think about the villain? Because if you compare the villain to the comic books, looks very different. And in the comic, wait, what? Yeah. Okay. So I was, yeah. By that time you wrote that, I was probably talking about the villain. But yeah, I didn't see the rest of your message. So the thing is that from the first movie, Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel know each other, but Monica Rambeau was a little kid, and Captain Marvel just disappeared towards the end of it. What do you think about the villain compared to the comic book version? Because the comic book version looks very different and dies after two appearances. Also, you do know who the villain is for the Marvels then, because it's a ripoff from Ronan the Accuser. I really forgot her name, honestly. But she's like Ronan the Accuser, but without the Power Stone. But I guess she has one of those bracelets that gives power or whatever, which they introduced in Miss Marvel, but I didn't really get the source of it. And in Shang-Chi, I guess it's entwined with the 10 Rings, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly where her power comes from, if you get what I mean. Hey, William, what's up, brother? Yeah, but I'm not sure where her power comes from, in a way. Because I know she's a decent or variant. I'm not even sure she's a variant of Ronan the Accuser. I'm not sure. She might be. Oh, hey, Kim. So, okay, so you got Williams. Okay, so you got Williams YouTube. Got you. Nice of you to be here. Nice hearing from you too. But yes, I'm not sure if they're related. If they're obviously from a Creed, from the same bloodline. But yes. How you been? How's it going over there in Florida? I might be going over there maybe January, I'm not sure. But to the Orlando part. Still debating. But yeah. But basically, yeah, it's more like Ronan the Accuser. And the only thing that she didn't have her motivation was that her planet is dying because of Captain Marvel, which is something that we never seen in the shows or movies. Honestly, they should have. I think this seemed more like a part 3 than a part 2. But apparently, there was a scene that Captain Marvel just came and destroyed like an AI that was controlling like the planet, destroyed it. Okay, I got you. I'm probably gonna go. It's not that long though. I'm probably gonna go from January 9th to the 11th. I'll get with you on that definitely. But what's it called? Her planet is dying because Captain Marvel killed their leader, and I guess the sun because they killed their leader. I guess the sun is dying as well. So she wanted to get revenge on Captain Marvel by going on each one of her planets and getting something off of them, so to restore their planet. So she went to one planet and stole, say, like air from that planet, like sucked it in by using the power of her rod, her whatever, whatever the hell she was. It was a type of rod or whatever that power stone used to be on. Basically, that she just absorbed it, like opened a dimension and absorbed it up, pretty much. And then she went to another planet and she got the water, and then obviously they're gonna have to go to Earth to get their own sun and whatever the case may be. But that was her main motivation. But then there was some logic problems as well, and then her dialogue was like, eh, like, are you just phoning it in, or like, I don't know. There wasn't that much chemistry with it. Anything. So the villain was, I don't even know what the comic version of her really is, honestly. Because honestly, I already forgot her name. That's how pointless this villain was. Or basically, the villain was them swapping. That was the main point because they handled her pretty quickly, honestly. But Miss Marvel, like, she made the show. It's like her chemistry, her vibe, her everything. Like, I wasn't even a fan of the show, but she just brought it up. Like, she was so enthusiastic to meet her idol, Captain Marvel, and stuff like that. Like, and stuff. Her mannerisms, some of the stuff that she would say and do is just like charming. It's just entertaining and stuff like that. And it did a little montage of them like doing exercises for for them to use their powers and whatever the case may be. So it was like she made the movie for me, and but there was like two scenes that were so cringy that I couldn't talk about it in the non spoilers, but I'll talk about it now. So the first scene, if you've seen the movie, it's the scene with the water planet, and supposedly to communicate, everybody had to sing. And oh my god, that was so cringy as fuck. It's not even funny. I was like, and it went on for like a good 5 minutes. And then at the end, the king of that place, like everybody else is just singing and shit. And the king over here could talk straight, like regular. And their excuses are like, oh yeah, he's bilingual. And I'm like, why? I was like, why? I'm like, who wrote this? I'm like, who did this? Who think this was a good idea? I don't know. I was like, that was so pointless. And then the other scene was with cats. Um, so apparently, if any of you guys seen Captain Marvel, there was a cat, but the cat wasn't really a cat. Willie asks, "How's Five Nights at Freddy's?" Okay, I'm about to give you a brief and anything because I gave my first 40 minutes was Five Nights at Freddy's, but I really liked Five Nights at Freddy's. I gave it about a 7 out of 10, with 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. It's entertaining. I would recommend watching that one. It's it depends. It takes a little bit because I played the first game, so it takes a lot of the first game. It adds on to like the little background to the security guard and the and just the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. They made it like ghost kids and whatever. It wasn't. It was all live action. There was only a few CGI moments, probably the kills and stuff like that. But they actually had robots, actually animatronics, actually doing the stuff, and it was actually there. So that's why it kind of in the movie it does seem kind of slow, but it was because it was not CGI. But besides that, I found it entertaining. It's not the movie of the year or anything like that, but I recommend you go watch it. Honestly, if you have Peacock, it's for free. It's available for free there, so it's not bad at all. Like, I wouldn't pay a whole full price for it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I wouldn't pay like $15 or anything like that. But if you could go out, you want to go on a $5 Tuesday or watch it on Peacock or whatever, I recommend go checking it out. Like, for the main thing, for the actual whole entire review or anything like that, whenever the live is done later on your own time, just check out the beginning parts of this live. And I went detail to detail, basically Five Nights at Freddy's. So yeah, you definitely should. Definitely should. And let me know what you think of it. I'm kinda am hoping there's a part two, so but yes, what was it? Miss The Marvels. I got like three different titles stuck in my tongue, basically. Um, but yeah, what was I saying? Miss Marvel stole the show. Oh yeah, the cats, fucking cats. So, and like the cats are not really cats, and they're alien species that bring out tentacles off their mouth and they eat people, apparently, right? So they come to a point that their station is in space and it's getting attacked, and they have so many people and a few space shuttles to go back to Earth, right? They made a subplot of randomly, not explaining how or why this is there, but there's eggs. And there's eggs on the ships. And the freaking eggs are cats being born conveniently at that time. Okay, bro, I have never seen Rick and Morty, so I am not sure. Yeah, don't kill me for that. That's a show I never caught on, so I never seen Rick and Morty. So I'm like, okay, where's this going? So next thing you know, there's millions of cats in the space shuttle. And then we're like, well, the plan is let the cats eat you. You won't die. Then they spit you out. And they did a whole little 2 minute montage of the cats randomly eating people. With I forgot what the hell the song was. And then somebody announcing, "Do not run. Let the cats eat you." Without, and I'm like, this is this. I'm like, what? I'm like, what is going on? So the cats come, so they brought, then their job was to get every single cat, put it in the shuttle so it could go to Earth and it could spit people out. They don't explain why you get eaten and you don't die. They don't explain. They don't explain the fucking eggs. They don't explain all that shit. And I'm like, that was some lazy ass fucking writing. And I'm like, okay, this is happening. So I was like, those are the two cringiest movies that made the movie. Was like, what the fuck am I watching? The rest, it was just like, yeah, dialogue here and there, blah blah blah, like some logistical problems, logic problems, or whatever. But like I said, Miss Marvel made it for me, and then like the other two was not bad at all. Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson was sometimes funny in here, but then sometimes he was like too funny, like it didn't fit his character in a way. And I was like, at the end, like villain dies. Yeah, the villain dies. Basically, well, she killed herself or she died or whatever the hell, trying to backstab one of the Marvels and whatever. They promised that they were gonna heal her planet, which they did. Basically, which all this time, right? She said she couldn't go back to Earth because she felt guilty about what she did to that planet. It was her dirty little secret, right? So they come to it like, well, you have power of light. You could light up the sun. I don't think I could do that. Next thing you know, well, have you tried it? Well, I don't know. So you talking about all that fucking guilt, and you didn't even know you can do it, but you could do it, and this whole shit would have been prevented. This whole movie would have been prevented. See, logic problems. Because at the end of the day, she lit up the sun. Everybody, her planet is safe. This, that, whatever. She could have been done that from day one, and this whole shit would have been prevented. But okay, whatever. Let that go. So I'm like, she did that, saved the day. I forgot one major plot point. So when the villain died, she opened a portal to another dimension. And the only way, supposedly, was the only way to save everybody as well. This was another plot point, very towards the end, was to go inside that dimension and close it up from there. But in my mindset, of like, you couldn't do the same thing in your dimension and just close it up. Sounds like every girlfriend logic problem. Yes. In a way, yes. But I'm like, you couldn't just do that instead of getting yourself locked in another dimension. Then she said, it had to be this. No, it didn't have to be this way. So I'm like, so Monica Rambeau at the end of the day is stuck in another dimension. Okay. Um then the Marvels do a little friendship thing because apparently in one of the scenes as well, Miss Marvel, they all broke Miss Marvel's house. Oh, by the way, Miss Marvel's family throughout the whole time was in the movie a lot. So they were cool. They wasn't fine. Some logic problems while they were fighting in Miss Marvel's house. Apparently, the villains were slacking so much that they could even kill two humans who have no powers. And the mom is over here hitting the freaking alien with a broom. And you couldn't just kill her. You are a bad soldier. Whatever the fuck you're meant to be. Why did they even send you there? You can't even handle a goddamn broom. So they broke her house, so they got a new house, which is the old house from Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau, where they used to live at in Louisiana or some shit like that. And like they were all moving there, and then Captain Marvel, it ended with her flying a plane that Monica Rambeau's mom what used to fly in because they were both pilots in the first movie or some shit like that. So, well, they couldn't really fly because they didn't have the key, but I guess Miss Marvel wanted to go, whatever the hell. So, and they ended with that. Like I said, I seen a whole bunch of worse movies or whatever the case may be. Like I said, this is a little bit above the middle ground, so that's why I gave it a 6. Like there's some redeemable qualities in this movie. Like Miss Marvel is a redeemable quality. And what's it called? And then some other things as well. So like I said, I didn't mind it in a way. So yeah, I didn't mind it in a way. So would I recommend it to go watch in the theaters? Maybe not. Maybe wait until it comes out on Disney Plus, or wait until it comes out on, I don't know, something cheaper in a way. Do you have to watch this movie to understand some certain aspects of what's coming up next or something from before? Maybe not. Well, yes. Okay. The post credit scene. Okay. So the post credit scene is you're in the other dimension and Monica Rambeau's is in a hospital bed. So when Monica Rambeau's in the hospital bed, she sees her mom, which I forgot to say. Well, in the first one, her mom dies through cancer. So when her mom dies through cancer, so she would been missing her mom obviously a whole bunch of time or whatever the case may be. So she's like, "Oh, mom, I'll wait for it on bootleg." Not a bad idea, but she sees her mom. She's like, "Mom," and whatever. But the case is, that's not her mom. She just realizes that she's in another universe or whatever, another timeline or whatever the hell. So her mom then shows that she has the Captain Marvel thing. So she might be the Captain Marvel of that universe, but she's called by something else, binary. And then you hear the voice of Hank Pym. And they brought the Hank Pym from the original X-Men. Yes, they did. They brought the Hank Pym, and they weren't actually in the hospital. They were in the X Mansion. So that means the X-Men are coming. So if anything, you want to watch the post-credit scene somewhere, that's probably the biggest thing that came out of this goddamn movie? The X-Men and Hank Pym are coming. He mentioned that Professor X wants to update or whatever the case may be. Who's going to be Professor X? I don't know. Whether they're going to bring Charles Xavier as or the younger one or the older one or a new one, I don't know. But yes, the X-Men are coming to the cinematic universe. So, but what's it called? If it's not for that, it didn't really tie into WandaVision like that, except it continued the story a little bit of Monica Rambeau, which is going to continue on to whatever's going to happen with the other universe, which is with the X-Men right now. So that's going to be interesting. They didn't really progress much Miss Marvel. Oh, right. So apparently there's a little behind the scene. Wolverine's going to come out in Deadpool. Yeah, Wolverine is going to come out in Deadpool. And Hulk is not even Hulk anymore, honestly. Hulk is the last time I saw Hulk and it was on a freaking TV show, he was like freaking wearing Hawaiian shirts and I don't even know what the hell. They gotta redo Hulk. They did Hulk wrong. No, but Deadpool, Wolverine, it's already confirmed. Hugh Jackman and Wolverine is gonna be with Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds, and they're gonna be in Deadpool 3. So stay tuned for that shit. But Miss Marvel, it progressed, but I forgot. They did like a little sequel. I don't know if you remember the first Iron Man movie that Nick Fury came in to every single person and were like, "Oh, I'm starting an initiative," blah blah blah, whatever. So Miss Marvel comes in doing the same exact scene with Hawkeye's daughter. Yeah, he has a daughter. I think it's his daughter, or not his daughter. I forgot what she is, but Hawkeye's trainee or whatever. And she comes and be like, "Oh, I'm starting a new initiative." So basically, they're starting the Young Avengers, which kind of makes sense with what they've been going for because we already seen Miss Marvel, we already seen the Ant-Man's daughter, we already seen the girl from Doctor Strange, the what's her name? I already forgot her damn name. The Spanish one. That I already forgot what she do. But she was in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, the whole plot point of that. And if I guess that Marvel, I don't know, probably for the next Avengers movie or whatever. The Scrolls were there for a little bit, but they were just getting it was a minor role, honestly. They were just getting their air taken out of them, so they had to like relocate again. And Valkyrie from Thor made a brief cameo appearance, just taking in the scrolls, because now there's the scrolls are going to be living with the Asgardians. But yeah, honestly, thinking about it, you don't need to watch it consecutive to get to go understand other movies, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's not a major watch. It's not a saying like, oh, you gotta go watch Captain America Winter Soldier, or you gotta watch Spider-Man No Way Home to get this. Like, no, it's not one of those movies. Like, this is a movie that like, yeah, it'll be some shit. So but yeah, I think that's a review now for Captain Marvel because I don't think I got much to say. If y'all have any questions of it, by all means, ask away. I'll give you 5 minutes to do some questions and whatever. And I'm gonna start wrapping things up. I could talk about Loki a little bit as well. But yeah, write down if you have any questions about Miss the Marvels. And I did watch Loki the season finale, season two. Pretty intriguing. Whole show's about him like taking a rise to become God, basically of the time or some shit like that. And like I don't know, it's something I'm gonna review episode by episode later. So I'm gonna leave that for later. What's it called? I don't know if you guys checked out the concert review. It's up there already. I'll give a little brief thing about it. My closing thing. Went to go watch Mike Towers. It was like I said, it was a decent concert. Did they put Stanley in there? How so? Like a cameo or anything like that? Because if a cameo, no, I don't think they put anything of Stanley in there. Besides, he might have popped out maybe in the like the little Marvel logo type thing that they do. But as in the movie itself, no. I don't think they did. I don't think they put I don't think they put it there in Loki anyway too. At least in the season two, they didn't do that. But but yeah, Mike Towers. Like I enjoyed it. Like such my RP. I know they should always put like a memory of like in the beginning or end. I didn't stick to the end credit scene, so maybe they did have something like in memory of Stan Lee or something like that. But I'm not sure. I didn't stay all the way to the end. Like after that post credit scene, I just left. But they didn't do it in the beginning. But they should do it in the beginning, like it used to be, like in honor of Stan Lee or in remembrance of Stan Lee or something like that. Yeah, but in the cameo, no, unless they like CGI him, which I don't even know if they have consent of that because that was a big issue of the freaking actor strike. I know, but they need consent though. That was the whole big issue of the actor strike. I don't know if you know about that of them having consent to the AI because the studios wanted complete control without consent that they could use to only pay you one fee, and then after that they just um they own your right, they own you like forever type shit like that. They could use you for whatever, and then actors are not gonna do that shit. So or anybody, but yeah, I was in the Mike Towers concert and like I said it was decent. Like he sung most of his songs and stuff like that. It was more of a concert. Like I feel like the crowd wasn't in sync in a way. And what I mean by that is like when I went to the Eladio concert, everybody knew every single song, whether it was trap, whether it was rap, whether it was romantic, whether it was whatever the case may be. And like the crowd was a vibe, from start to finish. This one, it was like they came for like either like certain songs, certain type of songs, and whatever. And the other songs, like they kind of like stayed quiet, like they didn't know the songs or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I think Will Smith and the guy from Jason Bourne, they did that so in the future they can be AI without actually being them. Oh, makes sense. Well, what was the Will Smith one? I Robot or whatever. And then Jason Bourne, and most of it was about AI and shit. Even now, Mission Impossible, like the last one that came out was about AI. It's funny, like almost all these movies are like AI is the movie. No for future movies. What do you? Yeah, I think Will Smith and the guy from Jason Bourne. Oh, so you're saying that they actually did it? Oh, okay, okay. I mean, by all means, that they all want to do that on them and they give consent for it, then by all means. But I feel like they should have like a choice. Everybody should have a choice whether you like to or not. Like you could take the fee. Yeah, you could take the fee, the one-time fee and they could use you in whatever. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, then you have to have the choice to do that. But what's it called? Like, I don't know. And there was this long ass segment, like basically he brought out fans to like dance with him. And at first it was cool. I was like, oh, okay. So they're over here freaking Periano and all this other shit for one or two songs. But then that shit went on for a good 15, 20 minutes of the show. Well, at least 15 minutes of the show with like a lot of songs that I wanted him to sing. And he wasn't even singing, he was dancing with a random fan. And I was like, oh, well, okay. And whatever the hell else. And I was like, this is getting repetitive and a bit boring now and whatever. But like I said, the place was nice. The place was like a palace, honestly. Well, it is called United Palace, so it is a palace, but it was very nice and seats are comfortable. Definitely. Oh, definitely. No, he had girls throwing freaking panties at him and freaking bras and all this other shit. And what's it called? Um, he was like, I'm telling you, he was dancing with at least 15 or 20 different females of a fan experience or whatever the hell. I'm gonna post it on TikTok actually, if they don't copyright the shit, but I'm gonna post those videos throughout the week on TikTok and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, he was I'm like he and then whoever the fan is lucky as fuck, but everybody else just watching. It's like we just watching them like dancing shit. And that's the thing. And at that point he wasn't even singing. He was just dancing. So I was like, oh, okay. Shit. But he got some ways to go. Would I see him again? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not as enthusiastic as I want to go see Eladio again, or I will see Arcangel again, or whatever the case may be. But him, I think I'm satisfied with what I saw there. That I might not go again. But if he comes out with some banger shit or whatever the hell, and I hear like the concert's like lit as fuck, then yeah, I'm in there. But yeah, that was that. I have a detailed review on the other video that I put in earlier yesterday, whenever, about it, so you guys can check that out. Leave a comment, share, subscribe, all this stuff. So, guys, I need more subscribers. At least today, where am I at? I don't even know where the fuck I'm at. I think I was on 24. I was trying to get to 25 by the end of today. So if anybody could just share the content, share whatever, just be like, yo, just subscribe. We're going to talk about BS here, about movies, shows, music, concerts, whatever the hell. Like, this the place. So just get at least one subscriber. I'm trying to get to 30 by next Sunday. So help me out with that. I'm gonna be posting on my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that. So every single time I post, just share what I post, and say to share, and just be like, yo, subscribe. And that's it. You don't have to put anything else. If you want to put something else, great, even help, support, you know, anything like that. So how's the webcam? And how's the vision? Cause I'm gonna be getting my actual webcam Tuesday, and on Thursday I'm going to be reviewing the new Hunger Games movie. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be coming on Saturday, for next Saturday. So next Saturday I'll post that video for the Hunger Games. I'm gonna be reviewing I decided to review the show Chambers in Netflix. So if you guys wanna cash on that or anything like that, watch that while I'm watching it. So by next Saturday you'll be caught up. And I'm gonna be doing an open spoiler review. So yes. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up right now. I gotta get ready for work. But it's okay. But you can be a little closer or something. Like video wise. Oh, well, yeah. I gotta figure out the frame and spacing and how much space I got and whatever. Like, but I'm gonna see. But yeah, that will do it for you guys. I'll see you guys next time. Please subscribe, share, and support the channel. Whatever you thought of these movies, shows, anything, just leave in a comment below. I'll read it. Comment on it, anything like that. Anything you want me to say on the live or anything like that, or pre-recorded, I'll read it out however you like. If you want to be part of the show, please let me know. We could do something in webcamming. We could do something if you want to come over here, whatever the case may be. And that will do it, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.